All right, guys, this is day 3. So we've got conducting pattern at the top. And so you've seen me conduct, and some of you have tried. The easiest one, we're going to do this a little out of order of what that says. So the easiest one is conducting in 2. So I'm going to use my left hand to be your mirror image. This is not how I would conduct with my right hand. So even left-handed people conduct with their right hand. It just has to do with how the orchestra can see everybody. So that's just interesting to know. Just like even left-handed people play the cello the same way and all of that. So it just means they're stronger one way or the other, right? Okay, so for conducting in 2/4 time, we just go down and up. And you can have a little swoosh at the bottom. You want to have like a beat so that we can feel where it goes 1 and 2 and 1 and 2. So you can see the picture has a little, like almost a J pattern. Because if we just go straight down and up, it's just not very easy to see. It's easier to see if you have a little swing. So if you're sitting at the back of the orchestra, it's a little easier to sing. Or like in the Houston Symphony, the percussion is way at the back. So it's easier for them to see if you have a motion off to the side so they can see where. And then when you want to be more staccato, you could be like that. All right. The most common one, so that's the easiest one to fall into. If you get lost and you just need to go up and down, that's totally fine. So even in 4/4 time, you can go up and down and it all works. So we're going to go back to the first one, which is 4/4 time. And it shows you this is the conductor's view. So if you're the conductor, this is how you're going to conduct. So you're going to go down, across, out, up. We did this way at the beginning of the year because it's just fun. Down, across, out, up, down, across, out, up, down, across, out, up. And notice how my beats have a little bit of pause to them, and I'm trying to flow evenly between the beats because the time and space that it takes to get to the next beat should be fairly even, right? So you don't want to be going too fast, and then slow and being all awkward, right? So just make sure you're down and across and out and up and just smooth and fluid. All right. And then finally, the 3/4 time is just down, out, up. And this one I think is also kind of easy in comparison to 4/4 and certainly any other complicated patterns. I've had to conduct chamber in 5/4 and in 7/8 and all sorts of things. So, and 6/4, yeah, so much fun. So we have down, out, up, down, out, up for 3/4 time. All right. Okay, so some of you on your sound check didn't indicate that you were having an easy time with tempos. So this is a great page to practice our tempos. So Hunter's Chorus is our first one we're going to do today. I'm actually going to play it slowly for practice, and then I'm going to play it in the allegro tempo that it is supposed to go. All right, so you know how to practice. We did that on the last video in depth on how to take the measures that are giving you tricks and just pause my video and practice those ways. There are certainly other ways that I can show you if you're still having trouble with just slowing it down and figuring out one note to the next. I can show you in the next one. I think I'll show you how to do some other tricky ways to help you pick up your tempo and also just read a little faster too as you practice. All right, so we're going to go slow for Hunter's Chorus. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and slow tempo. If that gave you a little bit of trouble, then you might want to make sure you're practicing a lot, because we're going to play Allegro next. Like I said, with this one, the tricky spots are probably going to be the first measure and then the first and second endings. I think measure 2 and 3 should not be any troubles for you at all. Okay, so we've got, we're going to go faster. So Allegro is quite quick. It means lively. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, you ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. So if you had troubles keeping up with me, then I definitely recommend you go back and practice it again so that you can be successful. Nobody's sitting next to you in class judging you. It's all about you, and what you want to put in and what you'll get out. So just keep that in mind. All right, Minuet. We know this Minuet in the Suzuki book, but this is written a little bit differently. So it's in a different key than the Suzuki book, and the notes are a little bit different. So this one's moderato, which means a medium speed, or just like a comfortable walking speed. So Minuet is a dance. Imagine in like the 1700s, and the men would wear those big white wigs and have all the ruffles on their shirts, and the ladies would have all the poofy skirts and everything. So you don't want to go fast on a minuet, because then they'll be tripping over themselves with all their costumes and all their clothes. So you want to go kind of easy so that they can have a nice dance, because a minuet is a dance. It happens to be in 3, so this one would be conducted in that 3/4 pattern. Okay, so you know the tricks to practicing, so I recommend that you start with that first. Make sure you can get through this. Here is the next little bit of practice. If you're having trouble with the very first measure or anything, when you have something that's written out with the same note value, this is an easy way to practice. So you obviously can play it slowly. Practice what I call Morse code, and there's a lot of different ways you can do this. I'm going to show you the first 2 basic ways of Morse code practice. So Morse code practice is where you have, think of Morse code as like lines and dots, right? So we're going to do a line dot, so a long short. So we've got, and that just changes how fast you have to look at the next note, how fast you have to prepare the next note in a different way than you did just playing it each note evenly. And then the opposite one would be short, long, short, long. So we have, so that's also a little bit different. And then you put it back into the way it's written. And hopefully that's a little bit easier in your left hand. Okay, so that's another quick way to practice. We're going to go ahead and play Minuet. Play with me when you are ready. Remember that you have the access codes to the SI Online, and you can plug this in and you can play it at all the different speeds, just like I do in class. So it'd be really cool to hear it with the orchestra behind you. All right. 1 and 2 and 3 and. Gets 3 full beats, so you got to count 1 and 2 and 3 and stop. Okay. All right. Musette. I haven't talked about this on this page, but you need to make sure you're paying attention to your key signatures. So the Hunter's Chorus and the Minuet were both in D major with our F sharps and C sharps, but notice Musette is a different one. So we only have 1 sharp in our key signature, and it's F. So that means our C's are not sharp. They are. That's right, C natural. Okay, so keep that in mind. Again, practice this before you play it with me to make sure you know what you're doing. I will help you with some note names in measure 1. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Starts on the G string. You should know your A string notes by now, and really you should know your G string notes by now. But in case you need some help, so starting on measure 5, it starts B, C, D, C, B, A, D, B, G. And then you'd repeat, and then the last measure is G. All right, so this is also an Allegro piece. So we're going to start slow. I'm going to play it one time slow to practice with, and then it's a practice tempo, and then a fast one. 1 and 2 and. Allegro speed. 1, 2, 1, 2. All right, we already know about theme and variations. And this is Baba Black Sheep, which is the same song as Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. Just different rhythms. You can totally play the theme. I'm going to go ahead and play variation 2. What they did here is they put it in the minor mode, so it sounds kind of cool, I think. All right, so play with me variation 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's kind of cool. It does say to compose your own variation. I am not going to check your work. You can definitely do that. I think I just want you to play around with it. We've done, remember we did Twinkle and we did Your Name. So that's a good one that you can just play, Your Name. And so mine would be like, and I'm going to play it in the minor mode because it's Tuesday. I don't know. All right. So I'm going to do Mrs. Nelson, Mrs. Nelson, Mrs. Nelson, Mrs. Nelson. That's kind of fun. So feel free to do Your Name as well. All right, I'll see you in the next video next time. Bye, guys.